So welcome back, Level 1 NCEA physicists and Earth space scientists. Today we are looking at the moon again and basically introducing you to our own satellite. Okay, so first, what is a satellite, and more importantly, what is a natural satellite? So a natural satellite, such as the moon, basically is a celestial body which is small, which orbits a larger one. So the Earth is large and the moon is small. Okay, and there's about 200 known moons in our solar system. Most of those orbit Jupiter. Okay, whereas within our inner solar system, which is your Venus, your Mercury, your Earth, and your Mars, it's only 3. Okay, Earth has 1 and Mars has 2. And the moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. Okay, and it's about the quarter of the Earth, about the width of Australia. Okay, so how does the moon affect us on Earth? It affects us basically in 3 ways. In terms of time, it basically decides also what the tides are, and also the light, because the moon illuminates the light from the sun onto the Earth during nighttime. How does it affect tides? Okay, so the way it works is through the process of gravitational pull. Okay, so the moon, having a mass, pulls on the Earth in terms of gravity, and especially the waters of the ocean. Okay, so when the moon is closest to the side with the ocean, okay, then you're going to get the hemisphere, then you're going to get the high tide, and on the opposite side, because water is going to be moving to make up the high tide, you're going to get a low tide. Okay, and this is the reason why you have high and low tides, due to the difference in gravitational force associated with being one side being with the moon. Okay, because the ocean being a liquid basically means that you get 2 high tides each day and 2 low tides each day due to this process. Okay, also remembering the Earth is rotating every 24 hours. You also have the idea of a neap and spring tide. So with the spring tide, the Earth is basically in conjunction with the moon and the sun are lining up. So the moon and the sun start pulling on the oceans. So you get a higher than normal tide, known as a spring tide. And on the other side, therefore, you get a lower than normal tide, known as the neap tide. Okay, that's when you have the sun and the moon in opposite sides. So how does the moon affect eclipses? So we looked at solar eclipses, but correspondingly you can have a lunar eclipse, and we'll look at that in more detail in another slide presentation later. But basically it's when the moon gets blocked, okay, by the Earth going between it and the sun. Okay, so it's basically the Earth's shadow on the moon is going to be known as a lunar eclipse, and we've already looked at solar eclipses earlier in the course. Okay, so and finally, the moon can also affect some animal behaviors, okay, because we're essentially 76% water. We're affected, so like our blood pressure can increase when the moon is closer, not by much, but still. And other animals like worms and fish basically sense the moonlight, and their rhythms are based around the moonlight. For example, species-wide reproduction can be triggered by a full moon, and also some animals, like a moth, use the moonlight as a beacon for travel, and things like the Burrow's petrel as a seabird, which travels vast distances on the ocean using the moonlight as its kind of beacon to help it position itself on the planet.